The patch notes for Season 26 are here, so now we know everything. Let's get straight into it because there's some surprising changes. Starting off with Ranked, with one of the biggest changes in a very long time, Respawn said key adjustments have been made to entry costs, placement RP and kill points to create more room for performance-based variants and rewarding consistent and well-rounded play. There's more detail later in this video, but with Ranked we've also got a new system called drop zones, and this is our very first look. Respawn say drop zones will start ranked matches faster and fairer, with squads automatically spread out across point of interest. Before the match starts, you will see a preview of your drop zone with pingable maps so you can coordinate, and also the loot is fairly distributed, so whatever zone you land at, it will be balanced with everyone else's loot. So now, when you play ranked, you're going to be forced upon a random point of interest, as is everyone else. The dropship won't exist anymore, you'll just drop out of a very small ship straight onto the point of interest. Respawn are also introducing auras for ranked, which are essentially going to be a new way to show your rank. These don't show you your rank at the end of the season, but instead your current rank, and they can be equipped no matter your rank. Also, Respawn are adding accolades, which are essentially small achievements in-game that you can achieve to get more XP. You can earn and record multiple accolades each day, but there's a cap of 2,200 XP per day, so you can't go on like a giant grind, I guess, you have to pace it out a bit. Respawn have also altered challenges to make most of them apply to all modes. As well as this, there is now a new reward flow in-game that you may have seen before, where your rewards now come from a care package in the lobby, and you'll be able to more clearly see what you've earned, and you'll be able to claim the rewards instantly instead of having to wait another game, which is a glitch that sometimes happens. Additionally, Apex is releasing on Nintendo Switch 2 with updated graphics, but on to the big patch notes. Let's go into the balance updates first. The Peacekeeper is now returning to the floor from the care package, and the Akimbo P20 is now entering the care package. For the gold weapon rotation, it's the Eva, Hemlock, RE45 Burst, Sentinel and Wingman. Evo harvesters are now more powerful, as they give you 425 Evo instead of 350 Evo. Also, Respawn have overhauled the placement to guarantee spawns closer to the Geo Center and away from POI cores, and the spawn rate has been reduced to 8 or 9 depending on map size, down from 17 to 20. So now you don't have to hope you run into Evo, but you deliberately have to go for it for a better reward. I think this is good. It's going to increase better plays and reward players who are actually thinking. As you may have heard, amps have also been added to the game, and these are replacing helmets. They're purple tier loot items, and these essentially give you a free passive. We have an infinite ammo amp, which gives you infinite ammo for the cost of 2 ammo slots in your inventory. It does not work with care package items. Bottomless bats, which gives you unlimited batteries as long as you have 2 in your inventory. Over armor, which gives you an additional 25 shield capacity, and it does stack with the controller passive up to 125 total shields, and then it stops. Also, we have the heal overflow amp, which gives you a steady flow of extra heals after you use a cell or a syringe. So if you're on 1 health and you use 1 syringe, you will instantly heal 25 health and then slowly heal up to 100 with this amp. Respawn are also adding the Power Booster amp, which reduces cooldown for tac and ults and refreshes tactical charge when knocking enemies. Respawn are also adding a new type of weapon called Elite Weapons, which are materializing this season with the RE45 rework, and these are limited time variants of weapons which will replace the original version of the weapon on the floor. So for this season, the Elite weapon is the RE45 Burst, which swaps the RE45's light ammo with energy ammo and gives it a spin-up mechanic that fires 3 round bursts in rapid succession. This is only limited time though. Respawn are also adding a new system called locked hop-ups, where hop-ups are removed from the floor loot and are now pre-equipped and locked to a select amount of weapons. These start inactive. They can be made active by dealing damage, upgrading or picking hop-up boosters for the corresponding weapon. They can't be removed or transferred, and pre-kitted weapons do not come with locked hop-ups. They'll either have no hop-up or an already active hop-up. Obviously, because amps have replaced helmet, gold and mythic helmets are now removed from the game, and over on Kings Canyon in the big mod point of interest, paintball weapons are no longer offered at the vending machines. Blue and purple kitted weapons are now offered at vending machines, and Respawn have reduced the time to unlock these weapons by 2 seconds. This was most likely a change to make the drop zone update fairer. loot bins have seen some changes. Over on extended supply bins, the top drawer contents now give support items to everyone. The secret drawer and evo value remain unchanged. Respawn have removed icons from the mini-map and full map for extended supply bins, and before the loot bin reset, there is a small chance of spawning an amp or an alt accelerant. Here's the big part though. After the loot bin reset, Respawn have now guaranteed an amp or an alt accelerant in extended supply bins. For weapon supply bins, the top drawer contents now give assault items to everybody, and the secret drawer and evo value remain unchanged. Once again, Respawn have removed the icons from minimap and full map, and before the loot bin reset, they have a small chance of spawning an amp or a hop-up booster, and after the loot bin reset, Respawn guarantee an amp or a hop-up booster, but only if a squad mate needs them. For legendary supply bins, amp and hop-up boosters have been added to the loot pool. Over on the legend changes, the controller class has two changes. First, zone overcharge now continuously regenerates shield while in zone. Taking damage will stop this for 6 seconds, and ring consoles, when used, will deploy a taller custom evac tower. Bangalore has received an update. First, her passive speed has been increased by 5%, and over on her tactical, this is important, her canister now breaks and travels through doors, so you can fully break down doors with Bangalore's smoke seemingly on the first time now. The projectile speed of her smoke has been increased to 2,900 from 2,500. The pull out time has been reduced to 0.25 seconds from 0.35 seconds, and the cooldown has been reduced to 30 seconds from 35 seconds. Also, her smoke is now reactive, so grenades will now clear her smoke for 5 seconds. For her ultimate, the cooldown has been reduced by 1 whole minute, and Respawn have reduced the animation frame rate to fire projectiles to 1 from 5. For her blue upgrades, ultimate cooldown plus and tactical cooldown have been removed, and Cover Me has been moved to level 2. She also now has a new blue upgrade called Electric Smoke, which electrifies her smoke and makes it deal 100 damage to enemy ults and destroys enemy tags. Over on her purple upgrades, Refuge has been removed and it's been integrated into Cover Me, and she now has 2 new perks. ECM Payload, which electrifies her ult and makes it deal 10 more damage and destroy enemy deployables, and also Medal of Honor, which gives her faster revives, and her passive will activate when running towards knocked allies. For Caustic, he's had a lot of changes. First of all, his gas damage has been increased by a big margin. Now it starts at 10 damage and ticks to 15 damage, and it used to start at 4 damage and tick to 10 damage. Caustic's health bar does now not show up when he's inside his own gas. He's got increased visibility both inside and outside his own gas. Green highlights are still active in his gas. Clouds now have threat indicators for victims. His gas now grounds enemies, slowing them down when they enter his gas, and also draining movement cooldowns like double jump or dash. His slow now immediately drains velocity to the desired speed, even if the target is moving at high velocity or in the air, meaning if someone jumps off an octane jump pad and is in the air but gets hit by a little bit of caustic gas, it will stop them in their tracks. And also his gas is now reactive to grenades, so if you throw a grenade at his gas, it will dissipate the gas for 5 seconds. He now has a new passive replacing Nox Vision called Field Research, where you gain research points from poisoning enemies, opening unique death boxes, and scanning ring consoles. And for every 100 research points, you can unlock one of the upgrades you didn't pick, and this can be done twice, so you can end up with all of Caustic's upgrades in the endgame. Over on his gas traps, his gas trap health is now 225 from 150. His trap can now be activated earlier while inflating, and Respawn have reduced the toss and stow animation by 0.1 seconds. Respawn have also increased trap activation radius to 260 from 140. That's huge, and Respawn have increased the gas radius to 300 from 282. Respawn have also doubled the lifetime of his gas traps to 22 seconds from 11, and caustic traps now take ring damage. Respawn have also increased the activation delay to 0.8 seconds from 0.2, so I think this is when enemies run into the trap, they have 0.8 seconds to react before they activate. Traps now take bullet damage while inflating, and traps take critical 1.4 times damage when hit at the base, which I think means they won't immediately deflate when hit at the base anymore. For his ultimate, Respawn have reduced the cooldown to 2 minutes from 3 minutes, they've reduced the toss and stow time by 0.05 seconds, just making that animation quicker, and have increased projectile speed of the grenade to 1.5k from 1.3k. Respawn have also increased the duration of his gas grenade by 5 seconds. For his upgrades, Parabolic Force and Residual Toxins are removed and integrated into his base kit, and he has a new blue upgrade to replace that called Extra Traps, where he gains an additional trap charge and also can have 2 extra traps in the world. Also, his old purple upgrade, Breathe It In, is now moved to his blue armor level. For his purple upgrades, he's now got a new perk called Gas Fighter, which recharges his tactical 300% faster when Caustic is in gas, and also he has Particle Diffuser, which increases ult radius by 50%. Oh my god, Caustic is gonna be a force to be reckoned with, to say the least. For ammo and attachments, we've had one new item, Hop Up Boosters, which now grants 100 locked hop up points upon pickup, and these can only be found in weapon and legendary supply bins. They can't be picked up if you don't have a weapon with a locked hop up, and they don't appear in Loba's black market. And then hop-ups have seen some changes. The Accelerator now takes 150 locked hop-up points to unlock, and it's compatible with the Peacekeeper, L-Star and Alternator. You must have the weapon in your hands to receive additional ult gain on knock, and the assist window has been reduced to 3 seconds from 10 seconds. Ult gain on knock is increased to 30% from 20%, and it no longer comes pre-equipped to white, blue and purple kitted weapons. The Graffiti mod is also going to be a hop-up on the Volt, Spitfire and Eva 8, and it takes 300 locked hop-up points to unlock. It greatly improves weapon handling and slightly increases magazine size. It also adds paintball rounds for some battlefield flair. The gun shield generator is going to be on the Hemlock, R301 and Rampage, which takes 250 locked hop-up points to unlock. The Select Fire Receiver is going to be on the Charge Rifle and Prowler, which once again takes 250 points to unlock, and the Skull Piercer is going to be on the Wingman, Longbow and 3030, and it will take 400 hop-up points to unlock. For weapon changes, LMGs have seen some changes. First of all, the Devotion has had its reverse hipfire spread widened, and Respawn have removed improved scaling from high tier barrels and stocks on the Devotion. They've also decreased the mag size to 48 from 52. For the Spitfire and Rampage, Respawn have also widened the reverse hipfire spread. Over on pistols, the Akimbo P20 is now in the care package. It's had its damage increased by 1, the reload time decreased, hipfire accuracy increased, and Respawn have added the kinetic feeder hop up to it. The RE45 burst is now on floor loot and in energy arsenals. The RE45 auto is now temporarily removed from the game. For the Eva 8, damage per pellet has been increased to 7 from 6, Respawn have reduced the rate of fire, and purple and gold bolts now match other shotguns. For the Mozam, Respawn have tightened the blast pattern, increased rate of fire in akimbo and single fire modes, and increased the rate of fire when using a white or blue shotgun bolt. For the Peacekeeper, which is now on the floor, Respawn have increased the magazine size to 6 from 5, increased the choke time, widened the blast pattern, and increased rechamber time. It also no longer deals headshot damage. For maps, we are getting E-District Daytime as the new map, which has overhauled lighting, added a new rotation at Lotus, and added adjacent doorways to many shops for additional flow, while removing some buildings and clutter to improve readability. And the map rotation for this season on Unranked and Ranked is Broken Moon, E-District, and Storm Point, and there are the mixtape ones. Also, of course, we are getting Wildcard as a new permanent mode in the game. For Ranked, Respawn have added drop zones once again, removed heat shields, they are no longer in Ranked, and changed the scoring, which you can pause on if you want to. Respawn have also added a report option for wall hacking or impossible game sense, and have done some bug fixes. Once again, you can pause if you want, I know you don't want me rattling these off. Respawn have also done a lot of bug fixes specifically on Watson and also Bangalore. For quality of life, bots now have improved behavior. Lifeline's ultimate halo has now had different coloring to help enemies differentiate it against a ring. Newcastle's ult can now be targeted and placed over Ulta's tac portals. Replicators now have an updated color and associated assets are now blue instead of purple. Scanning an enemy as Vantage will no longer show shield information if the enemy is dead. Watson's electrified doors no longer end if the fence placer dies or disconnects, and Respawn have updated the VFX on some first person getting hit animations. So now getting hit in the armor shows 90% less smoke, and getting hit in the flesh now shows around 40% less blood, just to make the game a bit more clear. Respawn have also added some changes for audio and graphics, and those are the patch notes. But additionally, next season, aka tomorrow, we are getting creator codes for creators, and I'm getting one. The code is GRRT, my channel name, and currently these creator codes can be used if you purchase anything for Apex in the EA app. Just enter it in the little coupon section, or if you buy Apex coins through the EA Apex store, which is a web-based store that basically acts as a much clearer version of the Apex store. So if you use that or plan to use it, you can also use my creator code. This does genuinely support me monetarily, which helps me make these videos and also do bigger projects. So Apex do enable creator codes tomorrow, and if you happen to be buying coins or even the new battle pass, consider using my code or just subscribe for free.